On this video, I'm going to discuss what's been the theme of my channel here on YouTube lately. I'm also going to tell you a short motivational story. Let's start with the motivational story because I really love it. In the 1990s, there was a young man who was living with his mother and their family in a two-bedroom apartment. They had very little money, and the mother would go out to babysit in order to survive and in order to put food on the table. This young man decided to help the family around about age 17, and he got himself a job in a grocery store as a janitor. He was working as a janitor in order to help his mom feed the family. This boy realized that he has a very strong interest in computers and decoding. So he hence went and took himself to used bookstores, and he would rent manuals and return them and study all about decoding. He had a very, very strong drive and a passion for computers and decoding. Eventually, he got himself a job and he started working for Yahoo. And he worked for Yahoo for 10 years. After he finished working for Yahoo in 2007, he left Yahoo and tried to get a job working for Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg at Facebook said to him, I'm really sorry, sir. You're not for us. You're not good enough. Have a nice life. This young man was not deterred, and he kept on looking. 2007, 2008. In 2008, he still had no work whatsoever. Finally, in 2009, he created the famous app which all of us use. What's it called? WhatsApp. And in 2014, he sold WhatsApp to Facebook. And he got himself a very modest $19 billion. That's a motivational story I wanted to tell you today, how this young man persevered and he was not deterred despite the rejection and despite coming from a very, very limited background. Now, let's get into talking about the theme of my channel here on YouTube. But before I start talking about it, I want to just tell you that my name is Jessica Madden. And on my channel here on YouTube, I help people raise their awareness and become very, very successful. I share the amazing tips and great lessons which I picked up throughout my life, and I share the great tips and lessons I pick up every single day. Reminding you once again that the 100th subscriber to my channel here on YouTube will receive from me a free gift and the shipping on the house for free wherever you are. Without further ado, let's get into it. The theme of my channel, what have I been discussing here in the past few weeks and in the past few months, up to about 2 months ago. Number one, I discuss my spiritual ascension. Number two, I discuss the amazing method I used to get over being a victim. Number three, I discuss the various methods I use to improve my moods. Meditating, eating well, going out in nature, trying to observe my thoughts rather than control them. Number four, I discuss great ideas to use in order to ascertain that no one violates my boundaries. And your boundaries as well. Tips which you could also use. I'm always thinking about you, my great viewers and subscribers. And number five, I discuss the methods I use to assert my confidence by taking myself out of my comfort zone. Often I take myself to various different places, interviewing people at train stations, interviewing people at the 9D ride, and interviewing rabbis who came on an emissary from Israel, which was pretty cool and fascinating. I was taking myself out of my comfort zone. I also interviewed the famous Philip. A couple months ago, I interviewed an elderly guy called Philip, and it was a great interview. 4 episodes of that was pretty cool stuff. That was back in June. I'll put it in the comment section down below. I'll share a link for that. Number 6, I put out great videos of conversations between myself today and my old self prior to transition in 2015. Yesterday, I did a fascinating one. I put out a video of myself in 2015, in 2017, and today. It was a pretty interesting and fascinating experience, and we all learned a lot. In other words, my old self learned quite a bit from that, and you also learned great tips from that. I talk about not being afraid. Being different is okay, because everyone has quirks, and everyone has their uniqueness. It's just that some people, many people actually, will hide their uniqueness and their quirks, which is a shame. And number 8, lately on my Hebrew videos, I've been reading my amazing poems. Do you want me to share those same poems in English as well? Or different poems in English? Please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. Let me know if you want that. Number 9, once or twice a week, I discuss a small portion of the Bible portion of the week. Jews from around the world read the Bible, a portion of the Bible every week, and I discuss a small portion of that every single week, up to about twice a week. Number 10, I give tips to deal with anxiety and depression. And number 11, I would like to carry on talking about my transition on Fridays. For about 10 weeks, I was discussing my transition. I'd like to carry on doing it. The thing is that I just haven't received feedback from you guys and girls. I want to know what to call the new series. I want a more positive name. Please let me know in the comment section if you have come up with a name that I could possibly use. I've been thinking of calling it As I Set Free, or I Set Myself Free, or I Fought and Won My Identity. What do you think about those names? I also wanted to share a short story in order to demonstrate what it means to define your boundaries and not to complain when somebody else violates your boundaries. A couple of months ago, somebody planned to meet me for a meeting. And that person showed up for the meeting with another person in tow. I wasn't so pleased about it, but I kept quiet. And the meeting took place over about 2.5 hours, and I really did not know that this third person would be at this meeting, and I felt quite disappointed and disheartened, but I kept quiet. I didn't define my boundaries. Now, who is to blame for that? The person who arranged the meeting? Or me, the person who kept quiet? I think that I'm to blame for that. Why? Because I should have said, thank you, you've brought another person along. That's not what we had originally agreed to. Therefore, I'm not coming to the meeting. Have a nice day. That's what I should have done. I should have asserted myself. And because I didn't assert myself, as a result, I had another person present at the meeting and it was quite uncomfortable. And I really got a word in edgeways. Please let me know what you think about that. And please let me know if that's a good example of how you could define your boundaries and not be violated. And if you are violated, that's entirely up to you because you've allowed yourself to be violated. And it all goes in line with not being a victim. And that's how you get through life and you get yourself to a better place in life. I often talk about not being a victim, defining your boundaries, and if you don't have time for somebody, don't give them your time. It's as simple as it goes. And if you do give them your time, don't complain about it. That's my view. That's what I think. Please let me know in the comment section what you think. What is your view on this matter? And if that's a good example for this idea of not being a victim and not allowing others to violate your boundaries. What do you think about this video? If you like this video, why not press the like button? And please feel free to share this video with your friends, family, acquaintances, peers, anyone you like. Feel free to share away. And if you haven't subscribed yet, press that subscribe button and the little bell notification right next to it, because the way YouTube works lately is that if you don't press the little bell notification next to the subscribe button, you don't get to see people's videos. It's just a way of YouTube trying to get through the algorithms, trying to get people's videos to push up higher. And so therefore, if you could press that little bell notification next to it, that would be great. I love you so much. I'm sending you out today high vibes, high frequency, and whatever's left of this week, only about 2-3 days left of the week. I wish you to have a great remainder of the week and a great weekend. Have a great Shabbat at the end of the week. I love you so, so much. See you in my next video. I love you.